What's up, everybody? It's time for another edition of Rinks Roundup. We finally have some news coming out of Calgary regarding their new rink, although it's not the news we were hoping for, and rinks in Seattle and in Belmont are full steam ahead, getting ready for their debuts. And some developments in Edmonton regarding former Rexall Place. Alright, time to shake off some rust. This is Rinks Around the League. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Rinks Roundup. I'm your host, Jeff Nash. Rinks Around the League, of course, is partnered with the Second String Leather Company, who make one-of-a-kind leather products out of used hockey equipment. Arcadia Brewing here in Edmonton, producer of the Coliseum Brew. Make sure to check out their new location here in the city. And of course, Ross Flats Vintage Apparel. They make some amazing retro Edmonton sports teams memorabilia. Click down below for links to these amazing partners. It's been a little while since my last video. There's a lot to catch up on, so let's get going. I wanted to start things off by heading out east to visit the progress of UBS Arena, which will be the new home of the New York Islanders. Of course, the team has been bouncing around different rinks for the last few years, from Nassau Coliseum to Barclays out in Brooklyn. This obviously didn't make much sense from almost every hockey angle. And this season, they've decided to just have all their games back at the original home at Nassau. And while they've been playing at the newly renovated Nassau Coliseum, their new home is in the final stretch to completion as they plan to open for the Islanders' next hockey season in 2021-2022. Some more details have emerged about the new billion-dollar palace. For hockey, it will have 8 bars. The Islanders' locker room is said to measure 23,000 square feet, and a dedicated team store, which is always a big highlight for the home fans. Judging by their live webcams, it appears they're almost ready to pour the ice pad. Hard to tell for sure, but it looks like the refrigeration lines are already installed, and now the important concrete pouring of the ice pad will probably commence within the next few weeks. No formal date has been given to open doors. They're just saying they'll be open for the 2021-2022 season. Now let's head over to the West Coast and see how Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle is shaping up. They're moving at an amazing pace to have the home of the newest NHL team, the Seattle Kraken, ready for their debut later this year. The newest photos of the rink via Twitter show that they're getting close to pouring the pad. Recent photos show that they are currently finishing the prep work in order to lay down the refrigeration lines. But what you can also see in those construction photos is the construction of those unique scoreboards on each end of the arena. Now, a big thing about Climate Pledge Arena is their goal of becoming the only carbon zero arena in the world. Knowing what I know about running facilities, this is not as easy as just having an electric Zamboni clean the ice. According to their site, they'll have no fossil fuel consumption in the arena for daily use, mechanical systems, gas combustion, engines, heating, dehumidification, and cooking all converted to electric. Solar panels on the Alaska Airlines atrium and the First Ave garage, along with supplementary renewable energy, will combine for 100% renewable energy power. They also have a goal of zero single-use plastics. They are the first arena and NHL team to announce their intention to eliminate single-use plastics starting when they open in 2021, and committed to being 100% free of single-use plastics by 2024. They plan to have their rain-to-rink system that will harvest water runoff from the roof, collecting it into a 15,000-gallon cistern, and turning that into the greenest ice in the NHL. They'll also have waterless urinals and ultra-efficient showers, significant on-site retention tanks reducing stormwater runoff, as well as water bottle filling stations throughout the arena. Now, these are amazing goals, and I hope Climate Pledge Arena can make this a reality and show other venues how to help reduce their own environmental impact. We're in for some exciting news with these 2 rinks coming online later this fall. Can't wait to see what's inside. Now, let's talk about rinks of the future. Now, if you watch my episode on Madison Square Garden, I'll include a link down below. You'll know that the future of the current MSG, home of the New York Rangers, is in jeopardy as one of the most iconic rinks sits atop Penn Station, one of the busiest transit stations in the world. Because of the desire to renovate this important transit hub, the future of the current MSG is in jeopardy. Now, of course, if you've watched my episode on this building, you'll know that this isn't the first time MSG has moved. In fact, it's moved 4 times for various reasons. Now, this recent proposal will actually see the interior of the current MSG gutted to make way for the Penn Station expansion, and a brand new MSG to be added to twin super tall buildings as part of the Garden City in Midtown Manhattan. Initially proposed in 2016 by Vishal Chakrabarty, founder of Practice for Architecture and Urbanism, new renderings give visual context to this plan, to which the City Council agreed with consideration of the Madison Square Garden Company's acquisition of a shorter extension of its current lease. Now, the renovation and expansion of Penn Station is proposed to be $13 billion. We'll wait to see how the economy of New York and the world comes out of this pandemic. This project is pretty ambitious, and obviously it'll be tied to how well the economy recovers. These visuals, however, give us a glimpse into how MSG could look in the future. So we'll keep an eye out and see how this all unfolds. Now let's head to Alberta, Canada to see developments there. But before we do, just a reminder, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe. It helps a lot, so please consider hitting that like button and also that subscribe button. Now in spring of 2021, we were supposed to see an update to the Flames' new arena. I, for one, was excited to see the results of a fan questionnaire they had conducted a while ago, and perhaps even some updated rendering. The $550 million arena was scheduled to break ground in August and was scheduled to open in May 2024. I passed by the Saddle Dome last month to see what was left of the original home of the Flames, the Stampede Corral, and it's completely gone. I actually had played a few hockey games in there, and was kind of sad to see it completely gone. It definitely was an original barn. Another noticeable change was the removal of the pedway system that joined the Saddle Dome to the C-Train. It's amazing how little things make huge differences. Now back to the news. The news we did get in April wasn't what we were hoping for. Instead of hearing updates on what the building looked like, we got news that plans for the building were actually put on pause while the Flames and City Council finalized details on the new building. Details that came out were that the Flames organization were asking for $70 million more from the city. They also wanted to remove the Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, the city-owned entity responsible for overseeing the project. They wanted more control over the traffic around the new arena, and they also wanted some additional land. Now, I personally felt that during the economic downturn in the oil and gas sector, combined with the COVID-19 pandemic, the economic picture in Calgary would be pretty bleak, and it would affect the progress of the new arena in Calgary. So this really didn't come as a surprise. Cost overruns are fairly common in arena builds, but the list of demands noted earlier leads one to think that there's much more at play here. If you followed this story closely, you'll know that using public money for the Flames' new arena has been a pretty contentious subject for citizens. Combine this and a civic election to happen later this year, and the economic woes, who knows what this will mean for the future home of the Flames. We'll have to follow along and see how it all shakes down. And now finally, let's bring it home and give you an update on former Rexall Place. I get a lot of questions about what the future holds for that former home of the Edmonton Oilers. The short answer is, it's being demolished. The City of Edmonton said its demolition will be the first step in the exhibition lands redevelopment plan. The land in and around former Rexall Place has been proposed to be redeveloped into a mixed-use, transit-oriented development as part of a 30-year project. The city is currently paying about $1.5 million a year to maintain the building, and it'll cost between $15 and $25 million to demolish the structure. For a while, the city was looking at pitches from developers for repurposing the venue. At one point, a multi-sheet arena was brought forward as kind of a major recreational hockey hub. And I often get questions as to why they couldn't have repurposed the venue like the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. Now, in Vancouver, when the Canucks moved into Rogers Arena, the city kept the facility open for smaller concerts, events, and the 2010 Olympics. But here in Edmonton, when owner Daryl Cates and the City of Edmonton agreed to build Rogers Place, there was a caveat baked into the agreement that meant that old Rexall Place would basically never be repurposed. In basically what can be viewed as an anti-competition clause, it was agreed that former Rexall Place would not operate or host any sporting events or basically anything that would take any potentially revenue-generating events away from Rogers Place. So it's too bad it won't be repurposed for anything and will ultimately be torn down. Now, I've been told that all of the seats, the scoreboard, and the aluminum retractable lower bowl are all gone. So don't rush to catch a glimpse of the demolition. I think it'll be a few years yet before the city or a developer can come up with the tens of millions of dollars it'll take to tear it down. Whew! Now that was a bit of a marathon. Thanks for hanging in there. As you can tell, there's always something going on in Rinks Around the League. Until next time, thanks for watching.